Good morning. Today is the 3rd of August, 2026. This is the Defense Port's Wires Brief, your daily roundup of the latest defense, intelligence, and international security news. I'm Stuart Webb, and here are today's top stories. As the Iran war enters its 6th month, President Trump claims that new negotiations with Iran will begin today after he decided to call off strikes. The negotiations will pertain to the Strait of Hormuz and Iran's denuclearization. However, Iran says the country is not currently holding talks with the U.S. However, they are in talks with Oman about creating a new safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz. A senior officer in the U.S. Central Command's intelligence branch emailed a broad group of military analysts asking for new, creative, and unconventional ways to pressure and punish Iran. This is unusual, and it is a sign of the limited options that the Trump administration has to force Iran into a deal. A senior executive for Russia's Sberbank warns that Russian banks no longer have the spare ruble liquidity to buy government bonds used to finance the federal budget deficit. The Russian government may need trillions of rubles this year, and in the first half of 2026, the government had a deficit of 5.7 trillion rubles, or $71.2 billion, because of defense spending in the war in Ukraine. Over the weekend, at least 3 people are dead and 21 injured after a bomb exploded outside the upscale Balzi Rossi Italian restaurant in Moscow. It is believed that the target was the newly appointed commander of Russia's aerospace forces, Colonel General Alexander Chayko, who is expected to celebrate his birthday at the restaurant. It remains unclear whether Chayko was injured in the blast. Over 30 water facilities in Minnesota were the target of cyber attacks, and water facilities in 7 states were also targeted in recent weeks. The FBI and the Environmental Protection Agency warned utilities nationwide that hackers are trying to disrupt critical water infrastructure. The FBI stated that these attacks had the hallmarks of Iranian cyber meddling, as Iran has bolstered its cyber attacks in recent years. The U.S. Department of War announced it signed a framework deal with Lockheed Martin and Northrop Grumman to expand the production capacity for missile interceptor components. There is no information on how much the deal is worth. Israel shared its serious security concerns over the proposed disarmament deal with Hamas. Israel will not withdraw from Gaza before Hamas disarms. Israeli intelligence believes that if Israel leaves before Hamas disarmed, the group will expand its presence in Gaza and rebuild its infrastructure. Nigerian security forces raided a meth lab and arrested 7 Nigerians and 3 Mexicans. Mexican cartels have been making a push into Africa, setting up drug production facilities. In the raid, the government seized 2.4 tons of chemicals which would produce crystal meth, as well as crystal meth valued at over 300 million euros. The Taliban opened fire on protesters in the Yaftel-i-Payin district. The number of dead and wounded remains unknown. The demonstration was caused after Taliban forces allegedly body-searched a woman in Yaftel Market. The Taliban have been carrying out arbitrary arrests, house-to-house searches, and intimidating local residents after the district was briefly seized by a new anti-Taliban group on the 17th of July. That concludes today's Wires Brief. If you found this useful, subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and visit defenseport.com for analysis on these topics and more. And until next time, have a good day.